This is a separatory funnel. When not in use, they should be stored in a ring clamp attached to a lab stand. Placing them into and removing them from the ring clamp can be a little bit difficult, and you'll have to tilt them in order to do so. At the top of the separatory funnel, you'll find either a glass or plastic stopper. If your stopper is the right shape, you should hold the tab on the stopper between your index and middle fingers so that you can still use your hand without putting the stopper down on the bench top where it could become contaminated. At the bottom of the separatory funnel is a stopcock and a tightening nut that works exactly the same as the ones on a burette. Make sure to adjust the tightness of this nut before using the separatory funnel. Once you have a solution inside your separatory funnel, you'll have to add a different solution that is immiscible with the first one, so that you'll have two distinct layers inside your funnel. When adding your second solution, try to add it as gently as possible to avoid the formation of an emulsion, where bubbles of one solution will form in the other solution. Now you'll need to gently mix the two solutions so that the solute from the first solution can be extracted into the second solution. To do this mixing, make sure to firmly hold the stopper in place. Invert the separatory funnel and swirl gently. After a few swirls, you should bring the separatory funnel into the fume hood and open the stopcock to release any built-up gas pressure. Make sure to only vent into a fume hood and away from anyone's face. Do this swirling and venting process several times before turning the separatory funnel upright again. At this point, you should be able to see that there are two distinct layers, and those layers are fairly smoothly separated from one another, with very few bubbles at the interface. Having lots of bubbles would make it very difficult to do the separation. Once you have your separatory funnel back in the ring clamp, you need to set a receiving container underneath, with the tip of the separatory funnel just inside the mouth of the container. You then need to remove the stopper from the funnel, or the draining won't happen smoothly. At this point, you can drain your lower layer into the receiving container. And once your lower layer is almost entirely out of the funnel, you need to slow down the rate of draining and be very careful not to add any of the upper layer into your receiving container. If the layer that you've drained into your receiving container is a volatile organic layer, at this point it would be a good idea to cover your receiving container to prevent any evaporation of your organic layer. And at this point, I'm going to show you why mixing things vigorously is often a bad idea. So I'm adding the organic layer back into the separatory funnel to get two layers. And I'm going to stopper the funnel, and I'm going to shake vigorously. You should be able to see that bubbles of one layer have mixed into the other layer, and you ended up with a cloudy solution. Depending on the solvents used, it can take a very, very long time for these bubbles to drift back into their appropriate layer so that you can properly separate the aqueous layer from the organic layer without any contamination.